My name is Peter Lynch, and the company is AudioStream, and we believe in freeing the music. We believe we should not allow the likes of Google and Apple to control where and when and how we listen to our music. We can see with 4 pre-orders in the first hour and the only hour that we did pre-orders that we got 2 international orders and 1 domestic order at $255 each. And we believe that other people feel the same way we do, that you should be able to use your music anywhere. Myself, I have a 2007 Corvette. It's a pretty cool car. It's got a Bose stereo system in it. I've got a $600 Samsung phone. I can't listen to the music on my Samsung phone in my car. I can go buy a portable speaker, but then I have this thing rattling around on the passenger side. So I ended up talking to a gentleman today, and he told me that he's got an $8,000 Technics stereo system in his closet, and that he's got the same problem as me. He can't stream the music to this thing, so he just uses some other system, Bluetooth, at his home. He's got a truck. He was actually has the same exact problem as me. He can't get the music into it. So through our pre-sales, we saw that 2 of them were guys about 28, 32 years old, probably similar situation as me. The other 2 were female, and those 2 were actually, well, one was in Canada and the other one was domestic. And we believe that women will also be a big segment for this device in between the age range of like 24 to probably 42. And that they'll be able to use this device at home. If they're cooking dinner or something, they want to click a song and hear it on the radio on the counter. They'll be able to take the device, throw it in their purse, zip down to the beach in their car. They could be listening to it the whole way to the beach. Bring the boom box out, listen to the same song, and you can be listening to anything that's able to stream through your phone. So you've got your YouTube and Pandora and all that. You can also plug right into the back of it. So if you don't have a smartphone, there's a port in the back. You can just take your music, no iTunes, no Google Play, just your MP3s, MP4s, plug it right in the back. You made a video of your kid, and he's saying, I love you, Dad. You can take the SD card and plug it right into the back, and you can listen to that while you're in the car. It's also got an output jack on the back for 1/8 RCA type style thing. And you can basically turn this thing into a Bluetooth, turn some of the speaker into a Bluetooth speaker as well.
There's a couple real differentiating factors for us from what our competition is. The sound quality is absolutely superb. It doesn't pick up on the engine noise and such that a lot of the others do. It has inputs and outputs, a tremendous battery life, and it charges your devices at the same time. This is 3 of our competitors, and again, they have no output jacks. They're not in stereo. They're not even close. Their price points are lower, but they're not even comparable products. This is where we are now. We have 2 functional prototypes. The 4 pre-sales he mentioned, that was within a 1-hour beta test. We plan on new accessories being rolled out every 120 days, and we're looking for funding to do manufacturing and growth, which is why we only did the 1-hour beta test. We didn't want to sell more than we could produce. Our target customers are primarily the vehicle owners that currently don't have Bluetooth or USB ports in their car. So it's that FM transmitter market, except that they just can't reach us. Also smaller targeted markets such as classic car enthusiasts, motorcyclists, etc. We'd love to take some questions, because I bet you have a ton of them.
Yeah, I have a couple questions. One is that I have a product, right, that's one of those speakers, and it pushes through FM transmission, the sound from your phone. And also, I think I've seen on a couple of stores where you have this little device and you plug it into the audio jack, and pretty much that turns it into a transmitter for Bluetooth for sound quality. Granted, it might not be like supreme quality of Bose or whatnot. Probably gets about 80 or 90% of it done. And the only thing I see the challenge is when you're driving down the road and you know, someone's next to you and there might be close frequency, you might bump into them a little bit, and that might change up things. But just, I think there's already a lot of competition outside of the ones you listed. So does that make sense? Is there?
Well, some of the differentiators, I think, in that case would be that we're wireless. You aren't going to pick up the engine noise. We have the battery life of 20 hours. Because it has an internal antenna, you could actually have it in your glove box or your trunk, so you're not tied down by it. And also, most of the cars prior to 2008 don't have an auxiliary plug. And that's a market of over 125 million cars at this point.
So you're pushing out through the FM frequency.
It's pushing out through the FM frequency, which is also, we transmit in stereo, and most of the, well, all of the other things on the market are pushing out in mono.
We're basically creating our own little mini radio station.
Okay, and it's that box right there?
Yeah.
Yep.
So someone would have to carry that size box?
That's our prototype, and in manufacturing it's going to be shrunk down about 70, well, it's going to be shrunk down.
So you had mentioned the gentleman with an $80,000 system sitting in his closet.
Yep.
Is this plugging into it, or?
No, he would just, yeah, you could plug from the output jack into the back of the stereo. But you actually, when it broadcasts and transmit FM, the way that I have it set up, it's actually broadcasting in full surround sound stereo. So if you just tune the station on your receiver, it'll actually come out better sound and quality, which is one of the reasons why when you plug it into the jack in your car, generally it comes out in mono. So it'll sound tinny. If you're not getting all the static, it'll sound tinny. And with this, you don't get the static, and then it doesn't sound tinny on top of it.
So you take the device, you Bluetooth to that, and
Yeah.
that spits out to the speakers?
Yeah, so
Via FM.
You've got about 30-foot range with Bluetooth, I think, is the normal, and then you've got about 100 yards with the FM.
Okay, so first of all, I love that you started with the statement, we believe. Like, starting with problem. It gets exhausting after a while, so I love that you start with a statement of love, basically, rather than problem. Second, did you come here with this idea already, or is this full end-to-end this weekend?
Yeah.
And then third, I'm laying it on you, and then third is just in terms of a go-to-market strategy, how would you launch this?
Basically, about 3 months ago, I basically had the problem. I wanted to listen to my music, and I figured there had to be something at Best Buy. And went and bought the transmitter thing. Then I went to Staples and bought them, and bought a couple at Target, threw them all away. And I have 15 years of manufacturing for mostly projects with the military and so forth, with my own machine shops that I've owned. And I was kind of bored, and I tinkered a little bit, and then I built this thing. And then a friend suggested I throw it on Kickstarter. And I didn't really know what I was doing with Kickstarter, so I put it on. I don't like to lose, so I stopped it. And then Angela told me about this, so we waited and figured we'd get our stuff together first.
We had the idea of the problem and a possible solution, but we didn't have the prototype, and we had no idea on really what our true customers were and how to take it to market, and that's what this week had pulled together for us.
Tell us a little bit about you've got sales, so kind of going through a little bit about the customer validation. The female in suburbia is a lot different from the kid in Egypt or Greece or something.
Yeah.
Those are two different markets to go after.
Yeah, well, I think there's actually a ton of markets, but we were kind of told this weekend to narrow it down to one specific one, because you can't go after everything at once. And I think that the automotive market, why there's still a lot of cars that don't have this capability, that it's really a right market and it's the right time to do it, and there'll be soccer moms for forever. And I think that's the way we would go. And then there's also boating enthusiasts and campers and people that have moms that don't have cable or something like that, and they want to be able to listen to good music someplace.
Good job. Thank you.